Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. Let me go set up this room real quick and then we can get started. 6:15 right now. We have about 15 minutes till market open. So we do have some time, but I'm going to go ahead and get everything all set up right now. So all right, looks like we're good there. Today is October 21st and we're almost through October. This month like flew by. It's about to be Halloween, I think, next week, the week after. So I think we're ready for the market to start smoothing out in November. Get the Zoom link sent out to premium members over here. We're good. All right, so that looks good right there. I'll be letting people into the room as we continue. So let's see. All right, cool. Morning, guys. Everyone's making their way in right now. 6:17, so we got about 13 minutes till market opens. We do have some time. There's no crazy rush. But yeah, let me get everything all set up here. I think we're pretty much, for the most part, ready to go. Yeah, Abdul, morning. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Kushi. Morning, Vishnu. Morning, Girish. Morning, everybody. So today's Thursday, guys. Happy Thursday. We have one more day till market close. Hopefully you guys had a great week so far. I know, I sure did. I didn't even trade yesterday. I made so much profit yesterday that, I just took yesterday as a chill day for the most part. And I'm kind of glad I did, because the market did move kind of funky after the all-time high. Usually the market kind of moves like that. You can see here, just by, bird's eye view, market kind of consolidated a bit. I mean, it was ranging, but it was a lot of some weird movement all throughout Asia session. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't trade during that time, because I probably would have gotten caught in some fake out. So it's key, guys. Sometimes when you guys make a lot of profit in the morning, it's good to just take a break at night. You don't have to trade all day. The only reason I was trading all day yesterday is because I had my payout coming out soon, or yesterday actually. So I wanted to get everything out of the way before my account was to get reset. So that's why I kind of just went off. Also, I just figured out that new strategy, that variation to the high-low strategy. And it was just, it's addicting when you keep winning like that. Because yesterday I literally had like a flawless trading day. Like literally the Asia session prior, up until the morning, I was just all wins for, 10,000, nearly 10,000 per account. So, that's the main reason why I kind of just traded a lot. It was because the strategy just kept hitting. And that's the key, guys. You have to figure out and understand when the market's giving you what you need, right? If the market's giving you what you need, then you got to trade. When it doesn't, you guys have to learn how to be patient. So that's definitely key. Hey, White Wolf, morning. Morning, CJ. Morning, Sai. Morning, Jay. Morning, Lisa. Morning, Brandy. Morning, Abraham. Morning, Lisa. Morning, Miles. Morning, Maine. Morning, Peter. Morning, Adrian. Morning, everybody. Morning, Christopher. Morning, Essa. Yeah, morning, everybody. So, just like I was mentioning earlier, guys, there's some people, I was talking to Jeff, and I guess a lot of people are complaining to Jeff that people are getting upset that I'm making a lot of profit offline and then I'm not live. Guys, there's a reason why I teach you guys the strategy, so that you guys can trade on your own, right? Just if you're getting upset because other people are winning, that's a personal problem, right? If people are winning and you're not winning, or you're getting upset that people are making profit off the lives, like when we're not on the live sessions, that's a personal problem. Everyone has the same opportunity to learn the same strategies that we all apply here. And I just don't understand where it's coming from, because Jeff did message me that some people are just complaining, and it's weird because they're mad that other people. It's not even just me. They're upset that I post profits. They're saying that I post all these massive profits. Obviously, the strategies work, right? If everyone's posting profits, and it's not just me, because we have Patricia, we have Narif, we have Chris, we have RJ, we have New Levels. These are all different people. we have Sisu. If everyone here is doing well and you're upset that everyone's doing well and they're mad, you're mad because you can't copy the same trades because we're not on the live session, you know, it's a personal problem. You guys have to learn the strategy yourself. Everyone here put in the work and learn the strategy on their own so that they can level up, right? There's people here who made more profit than me. And you don't see me complaining every day that people are like making more profit, right? Yesterday was a fluke. It wasn't a fluke. I wouldn't say a fluke, but yesterday was a day that I had a lot of focus and I just took all these trades on my own. That's why I don't normally have high profits like this because I usually take it easy. But guys, like, you know, because and this is just it just bothers me a little bit because they were complaining that my live sessions are making them a worse trader. If you were a good trader, you wouldn't be on my live sessions, right? I mean, people use my advice on the live sessions for a reason. So if the live sessions don't work for you, then don't come on the live sessions. I just want to give you guys, you know, straight up stable, because like some people just get upset about things that just don't make sense. Sorry guys, my dog's in the background barking. Let's see. But yeah, guys, you know, going back to that, I just want to make sure that you know, you guys are aware. If the live session isn't for you and you think that you're a better trader without going live session, then don't come on the live session. This is optional. It's not required. You can learn all the strategies and do it all on your own. But I don't want like one or two people to ruin it for everybody, because they were basically telling me that I shouldn't be on live anymore, which doesn't make any sense. All these people here make profit off the live. But anyways, guys, good morning. Hey, Duggan, how's it going, bro? Morning. Morning, Donovan. Morning, Delmas. Morning, Paul. Morning, everybody. Morning, Professor. Morning, Matt. All right, cool. So yeah, and like you know, another reason too, guys, is that some people are complaining that I don't take as many trades on the live. I'm not going to give you guys like random trades, right? I'm going to give you guys trades when let me give you guys trades when there's something good there. If I tell you it's a risky trade and I don't take it, I'm telling you it's a risky trade and I'm not taking it for a reason. Because some people get upset when I give you guys when I tell you it's a risky trade and I don't take it, but then another person takes it and they see their profits and they get mad because they're like, oh, Shawn made me feel like it wasn't a good trade, so I didn't take it. You know, you're your own trader, guys. You know, you're a grown person, but you can make your own decision whether you want to take the trade or not. I'm giving you guys the pros and cons whether a position is good or not. And it's you know, I'm giving you that advice for a reason. It's not necessarily that I'm telling you I'm discouraging you from taking the trade. I'm literally giving you all the pros and cons whether to take a trade or not. Morning, Jeffrey. Morning, everybody. So, all right, guys. Good morning, everybody. Market's opening about 7 minutes. That's just my little rant. I just want to let you guys know because there's, you know, there's just people that complain for no reason. And if you know, if you're the type of person that just wants to play the victim every time, or you're just too scared to take trades on your own, then, you know, trading's probably not for you. I'm going to be realistic. Like, trading can be for everyone, but it's not necessarily for everyone. If you're too scared to take trades on your own, then, you know, trading is probably not going to be for you long term because you're just never going to take any trades. So, all right, guys, let's get started. 6:24 right now. Market is about to open in about 6 minutes. I'm done with my little rant right there. I just want to let you guys know ahead of time because it is just, you know, it just caught me off guard when people are complaining about the live session when a lot of people here actually really like the live session. Morning, David. Morning, Alan. Morning, everybody. Morning, Christopher. Morning, morning, everybody. All right, guys. So let's get started. 6:24 right now. Market is opening shortly. So let's take a look at the technicals right now. The 1 minute over here, we have a bullish bias. Reason for that is because price is above the pivot to trend meters green. Looking at the 3 minute right here, same situation, price is above the pivot to trend meters green. Lastly, here on the 10 minute, price is above the pivot and the trend meters green. So with that said, we have a bullish bias for the technicals. Looking over here at the 1 hour, it's the same situation, price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green. So it's pretty bullish so far. It's getting close to the all-time high. Again, all-time high is at 35,667. So I'm just gonna go and mark that up right there so that we can be aware of this high, you know, just in case. 35,667. So I'm just gonna mark that up on all these charts just so that we're aware and we know when the all-time high is getting near. Let's see. All right. All right, looks like we're good right here. Charlie said the 3 minutes about to hit. It already did, yeah, right there. Unfortunately, I didn't take any trades yet. I was waiting for the market to open. I did see that trade too, Charlie, at 6 o'clock. I was tempted to take that trade right there, but I missed. Well, I didn't miss it. I just didn't take it because because uh yeah, because I didn't feel comfortable with it. Man, I just I actually I reset it. I reset all of my templates here, and I accidentally added a 0 to all of them, so I got to change them all again. Okay, I'll just do that later. It's not a big deal, but yeah. So I'm just gonna have to do all this stuff manually, and I'll fix it after the live session, or maybe later on. So yeah, that would hit TP right there, Charlie. Full TP off that. Same with the 1 minute over here. There's one right here as well. So this one right here would have hit TP right there. Yeah, it's all good. Nice. So Charlie took that 3 minute. He actually made some profit off it. Yeah, I don't like taking trades between 6 and 6:30. Generally around that time, it's just it becomes too risky because it's so close to market open. So market is opening about 3 minutes. The technicals we just looked at showed a bullish bias. Looking at the futures data is currently 69 points in the red, but the the retail sentiment is currently 72% short. So with that said, we're looking for a buy. But when the market does open, we're going to see what happens with the fundamentals. If the fundamentals are green, then we're going to be looking for buys. If not, then we're going to be looking for possible sells. We're just going to wait for it to swing up because I do think it's going to come back up even further. The all-time high is about, let's see. Yeah, so the all-time high is about 1,000 pips away. It's not that far, but it's also not too close. So we will we'll see what happens here. Professor, I just saw your message, Trey. Trey said, I don't like the live session. I love the live sessions. Yeah, no, for sure. All right, so let's get going here. 6:28 right now. So market is opening in 2 minutes. Letting people into the room. All right, guys, checking this all out right here. All right, guys, so I'm going to close the chat. We're just going to focus on the trades right now. So looking at everything here, everything looks pretty bullish. We're just pretty much looking for the fundamentals to confirm it once the market opens in about 30 seconds. So in 30 seconds, we'll see what happens here. As soon as we get that, we will confirm it. So 20 seconds. We got about 15 seconds till market open. Yeah, no. All right, cool. So market is about to open right about now. There we go, the market open. So you can see prices currently dropping. Let's look at the fundamentals over here. I'm going to refresh this. Currently, the fundamentals are looking, it's right down the middle. They're not actually, they're very, very bearish. IBM is down 8 points. Caterpillar is down 2 points. Goldman Sachs down 1 point. Visa is down 1 point. So it's all pretty bearish right now. Refreshing this right here as well. It's down, wait, it's down 87 points right now. So it is bearish. So we're looking for this to close with a red sell signal that's valid. So we're looking for a red sell signal right there, and we need a strong candle that has little to no wick on the bottom side. However, what we're looking for here as well is that we're looking for the confirmation that if it's a big candle, because right here, this is a huge candle. This is about 400 pips, about to be 500 pips. If this does close like that, what's probably going to happen is it's going to have to retrace up a bit, and it's retracing right here. So I probably wouldn't take this one right here. I'd wait for the follow up. So right here, you can see prices retracing up. Technically, let me see if I turn this off. Technically, right here, this would be the breakout. I wouldn't take the trade right now, but I'd probably wait to see if it comes back down. And I also don't know if I would take it because of the fundamentals aren't very strong. They're like above 100 points. Then yeah, I would take it. But right now it's currently at 72 points. So stocks fall slightly day after Dow touches record. So I think it's going to swing back up. I probably wouldn't enter any sells right now. I'd probably just wait for it to swing back up. It's probably going to drop for the first like maybe hour or half hour, and then it's probably going to swing back up because the news right here, generally when CNBC announces something like this, the market does the opposite. So I wouldn't even take a sell right here. And this is why I was telling you guys to, just wait to confirm it, because we want the fundamentals to be heavily biased. Right now, it's not heavily biased. It's only down 76 points. We're looking for it to be below 100 points before we decide to enter anything in that direction. So as you can see right here, price retraced up just like I anticipated it to, because usually when it drops this much, it's going to have to usually retrace halfway and then it comes back down. However, the fundamentals aren't that strong, so I don't even want to trade in that direction. If this starts to move towards negative 100 and lower, then yeah, I'll start looking for sells. However, I don't really want to take any sells because retail sentiment is currently 72% short right now. So obviously, I don't want to be trading with retail traders. I'm going to be doing the opposite. So yeah, I'm not going to take this breakout here. I did mark it up if anyone wanted to put like a sell stop there and catch it as it comes back down. However, I don't want to trade with retail sentiment. So I'm going to wait for it to swing back up because I do think it's going to swing right back up. So I'll put the requirements here for the strategies that we're applying off the 1 minute. So we got that. We've got the high low going to the 3 minute over here. We've got the daily. We've got 3 minute pivot. And then over here on the 10 minute, we have the snipe. And over here, we'll be looking for, wait, this is supposed to be the 10 minute as well. This is for the daily. Oh, no, this is the 1 hour bias. This is the daily. Right, yeah, and here's the, so here's the daily from yesterday, guys. It's still running right over here. Or actually already at TP. So the daily from yesterday also hit TP right there. Or no, it's still running actually. We didn't take that trade because it came too late, but it's technically running in profit right there. So let me just move this over to here because this is going to be the new daily. We'll see if we have anything from there. And then we'll confirm it if it applies. So going back to the 1 minute over here, this technically would be a buy signal. However, I'm not going to take it yet because like I mentioned, I'm waiting for the fundamentals to confirm. There's no direction that's been set yet. You can see it's starting to shift to the green side, right? It was 70 points. Now it's 50 points. Sooner or later, it's going to be back in the green. So I'm not going to take any buys yet until the fundamentals confirm it. So I'm not taking this trade here. I'm waiting for the fundamentals to confirm the direction. Once we have the direction, then we'll take it. Obviously, price is going back and forth. It's just whipsawing up and down right now. There's no real direction that's been set. It's currently just going back and forth. Looking at the stock index right here, it's currently half red, half green. It's not necessarily heavily one-sided. There's only one stock here that's really carrying it down. It's really IBM. It's down 8 points, while everything is on average 3 to 1 point right there. It's just about being patient, waiting for that actual direction and for the entry to be placed. Currently, right now, we're just going to wait for it because it's just whipsawing back and forth. I'm going to go ahead and just draw the highs and lows as I identify what exactly is going on here. All right, so there's some highs and lows right there. Obviously, you can see the range. This range is like super wide. It's currently ranging right now about 660 pips. So huge range right there. But you can see price is kind of just going back and forth, right? There's no real direction. What we're waiting for is waiting for price to establish a direction. There's another 3-minute scalp right here, but I'm not going to take that as well. You know, my analysis doesn't change, guys. Fundamentals are always going to come first. If fundamentals aren't confirming, then I'm not taking trades in that direction. It's currently 84 points in the red right now, but I'm looking for it to be around 100 points in the red for it to shoot to you know, confirm its direction. Because what could happen here is price will just come back down, reject off the pivot, and then just come right back up. Right? There's like a lot of different scenarios that can play out here. Obviously, I'm just waiting for that best scenario for us to enter these trades. It's currently getting close to the Asia low down here too, so we'll see what happens. But you can see that price is literally just ranging within these areas. If the range gets tighter, then obviously we're going to make our range tighter. But currently, right now, it's kind of just bouncing back and forth. So it's just it's just us being patient right now at this moment. For the most part, let me go and just see what's going on over here with the 10-minute. So Maddie did mention that there's a 10-minute snipe that's coming up right here, which there is. I can see it right over here. There is yeah, there's a snipe right there. And right there. I'm just looking at the chat right now. So a couple people posted some up. So let's see. I'll check it out right now, Charlie. 1 second. So yeah, just looking at the 10-minute right now. There's technically a snipe that's developing right there, but it hasn't like closed out yet, Maddie. I know you messaged when it was up here. So there's no snipe that's available right now, but if this does push up, then yeah, that'd be a snipe using the strategy here. Going over to the 1 minute again, you can see price came back down. It's pretty much just testing this range. The range got a little tighter right here, so I'll just move this up slightly. And we'll see what happens next. Yeah, price is just kind of bouncing around. Let me look over here real quick. The fundamentals are currently, all right, so now it's down 100 points. So this is giving us a bias to trade for a sell. So looking at the futures data, it's currently down 40 points. The daily average is currently down 102 points. But you can see right there, every time I refresh it, it goes above 100. We want it to be down 100, like where it's steady, where it's not just bouncing back and forth. Because if the thing keeps changing between like 90s and 100, it's not yet established. So we're going to keep waiting for that to establish itself. Also, what I'm going to be looking for here is if the price does close below, the high-low right here, then we would take that as an entry using the high-low scalp. But you can see right here for the previous sell, this one over here would have played out using the pivot strategy. So using the pivot strategy over here, basically confirm a valid K2 momentum signal, confirm prices below the K2 pivots, and then enter on the open of the falling candle. So right here, you would enter short position. And obviously, we went straight to TP. But, like I mentioned, I didn't take that trade, so we're not going to, that's just a look back to see how price is moving. But it did play out right there. So I wonder if this one over here played out too. No, that one didn't. Yeah, and this is why I'm confirming, the fundamentals first. And you can see right here, it's now at 96 points. So I'm looking for it to be down below 100, stabilize below there so that we can, know that the fundamentals are pointing that direction. If it keeps dropping further, it's gonna change. Obviously, it's just gonna stay down there. Going back over here, refreshing this. Let's see. Yeah, IBM's down 9 points. Visa's down 4 points. Caterpillar's down 3 points. Honeywell's down 2 points almost. Looking at that, we'll see what happens here. So price is currently breaking below here. This is not going to qualify as a high entry because this is only 1, 2, 3 candles after it. So this wouldn't be considered a high-low entry because we need about 4 or 5 candles before we can establish that as a low. And you can see price is just spiking right back up, right? So the new lows established low here. And there still is no direction that's really been set for US 30, kind of just waiting. So yeah, we're just pretty much waiting for this to confirm its direction. Going back to the fundamentals over here, I'm going to refresh this. It's now down 96 points. So like I was mentioning, we're waiting for it to stay below 100. If it stays below 100, then that's going to be the confirmation. But my perspective is that I think it's going to swing back up because the retail sentiment is currently 72% short. Now it's 71% short. But with a lot of retail traders in that direction, I do anticipate it to swing right back up. So obviously that's going to be key when determining, what direction you want to trade in. So fundamentals and retail sentiment always come first. Technicals, they just come last. Those are just when we determine where our entries are. But when determining direction, the fundamentals and the retail sentiment is always going to be leading. So yeah, nothing here right now. Let me just refresh this. Looking at all of the futures right now, currently the Dow is down 104 points, S&P is down 7 points, NASDAQ's up 12 points, Russell 2K is up 13 points. So it's not really, they're not all moving the same direction. Some of them are down. Basically, NASDAQ and Russell 2K are up, while the Dow and S&P are down, which makes sense because the Dow and S&P usually mirror each other. But you can see from here, price is kind of just going sideways, right? There's really no direction being set. It's kind of just going the same way. And then right here, price is just going to not really do much. So we're still looking here for an entry. Yeah, there really isn't anything available right now. There's a pending sell here up to 3-minute, but like I was just mentioning earlier, guys, I'm not going to take it until this confirms. So, I mean, it's down 100 points right now, but I still don't think I would take it. So I'll mark it up for you guys, and if you guys do want to, if there's an entry there, I'll mark it up for you guys just so that you guys can see it. But if I'm not taking it, that's obviously going to be a risky trade. I'm only going to take trades that I'm almost absolutely sure are going to hit. And for this right here, I'm not absolutely sure. So that's why I'm not going to be taking it myself. So 630 right there. This is actually going to be a double confirmation. It's going to be a confirmation for the daily entry, and also a confirmation for the pivot scalp. Let's see this. My MC4 keeps freezing on me. I just had my MT4 open too. Okay, there we go. All right, we have a pending signal here on the 1-minute. Still no direction. You can see price is attempting to make its way down. However, it hasn't really established its direction just yet. So still no entry at this point. I've been having a lot of issues with MC4 lately where it keeps resetting on me. Right, now we're good. All right, so we're still looking for entries right here. Just a reminder, guys, I'm not looking at the chat at all. So if you guys have any questions, just drop your questions there. I'll look at the chat once I'm done analyzing for trades. Currently right now, I'm just focusing on the trades, but I mean, there's nothing available. So if you don't see anything coming up soon, then, obviously maybe we'll answer some questions. But right now, price is just going back and forth at this moment. It's just ranging back and forth right here. So going back to the fundamentals again right here, refresh this. It's currently down 99 points. So as you guys can see, every time I come back and refresh it, it doesn't stay below 100, right? You want it to stay below 100 for it to be stable and for there to be a really strong bias, because obviously you don't want to trade when it's a maybe bias. You want to trade when it's a for sure bias. Looking at the news over here, let me just refresh this. I think there's news today as well. Today is Thursday. We do have consumer confidence for Euro at 7 o'clock. We have CB leading index at 7, existing home sales at 7 as well, and then natural gas storage at 7:30. And then today again, a tentative federal budget balance. So we have some light news like pretty much all morning, nothing really too heavy, but the market just hasn't, chosen its direction. You can see obviously right here, it's just bouncing back and forth. The range is getting smaller though, thankfully. So the range is getting smaller as it pushes below. And we'll be looking for this here. So, all right. So looking at this right here, obviously the high is getting established higher. So that's no longer the high. This is now the high. And you can see prices starting to push up, right? This is kind of what I was waiting for. I was waiting for it to push up because my preference is to take buys or to take for the buys to change to a bullish bias. And the reason for that is because of the retail sentiment. Obviously, I don't want to trade in the direction of retail traders. I want to do the opposite of everyone else. So if everyone's short, I'm looking for a buy, but I'm not just entering any random buy. I'm looking for an actual confirmation of a good buy, right? So where you can see prices now pushing up. This is basically what I was waiting for this to swing up. This was an invalid signal, so this wouldn't have been entry anyways off the 3-minute. Looking at this right here, yeah, this could be a snipe. So this red candle right here would have been a snipe. This is the one that Maddie was looking for earlier. So this right here would have been a snipe entry. This is the one that Maddie was waiting for. Reason for that's because this red candle over here, I mean, it's kind of iffy. It's not that strong, but I mean, depending on this right here, if you want to go like really close, you can see if it's actually touching the pivot or not. So you just replay it. So I don't think this would, I mean, it's really close. If you go really close, you can kind of see that it's like barely touching the candle. So, I mean, you know, it's really subjective whether that would have been considered a good entry or, you know, an actual entry or not. I don't know. It's because it's like literally on the line. The requirement here is that confirm wick rejection off the pivot does not touch the candle body. I mean, kind of looks like it's touching the candle body. So I wouldn't have taken that trade. But I mean, some people would have, you know, some people are risky. And if it's like on the border of a good or bad trade, sometimes people take it. But me personally, I wouldn't take it because I'm a conservative trader. So looking at this right here, this would have been a valid buy again using the pivot strategy right here. But, you know, it's like I mentioned, I'm not going to take any trades right now because we're still waiting for that confirmation. And I only want to trade in the direction of the bias. But, you know, that 1 minute right there again would have hit full TP. So we're in a bit of a weird market right now because it's not really pushing any direction. It's kind of just going back and forth. So it's going in a big range, but you can see this number is decreasing heavily, right? It's not under 100 anymore. It's only under 61. So as price continues to push up higher, that's going to be better for us. And obviously you can see this one hit full TP right there. This is better for us because this is probably going to push up. It's going to come back down slightly. And then it's going to continue pushing up higher. And then that's going to confirm the shift in direction. It's only 6:49 right now, so we do have some time. It's not necessarily like this is the time where it's going to where it should have a direction. Generally, there should be a direction like around this time, but it's fine if there isn't because by 7 or 7:30, there should be a direction that's been set. All right, yeah, there's nothing here right now. Check the fundamentals real quick. Fundamentals are still kind of red. All right, so we have a high established there. However, unfortunately, this wouldn't be considered a valid high using the requirements here because the fifth requirement requires that price does not touch the previous swing. So it touched it right there, and I wouldn't have taken that trade. You know, this one right here, even though it looks like it'd be a good buy. So what happens is when price pushes above here, this is just going to create a new high, which is fine. And we're just going to be waiting for it. So still no entries available yet, guys. I mean, no entries available that are safe. Right now, everything's still kind of risky. Let me look at the fundamentals real quick, refresh this. It's currently down 57 points. So you can see it's starting to shift to the other side. The number is getting smaller and smaller by the second as price continues to push up, because price is following the fundamentals. If fundamentals are pushing the other way, price is obviously going to go in that direction too if it's moving properly. If it's not moving properly, then obviously you're going to see price not follow fundamentals, but the fundamentals here are key. That's why I look at fundamentals first every single time. It's always number one for me. All right, here we go with the new high. It's pushed up about 150 pips. Not a huge push up, but it is a push up to the upside. Refresh this again. Yeah, price is around 50 points now. Looking at the futures data, it's currently down 98 points. We're not looking at futures data though. This is just a overall view of it. But looking at the daily, this is what's important for today, because this is what we're following. So looking at this right here, still no entry. Looking over here at the retail sentiment, still 71% short. So it seems like a lot of people aren't really pulling out of their positions. They're just holding on to their short. They haven't really been stopped out yet. Looking at where people are likely to be stopped out is going to be around this area over here. So I'm seeing a lot of liquidity sitting around this area above here for whoever chased the drop earlier, right? So whoever caught the drop earlier, their stop loss, like if they entered the sell down here, the stop loss is probably sitting around this area. So when price reaches this area over here, this is probably where we're going to see a spike to the upside. If price breaks this point, then this is probably where we're going to see a big push to the upside. Because that's where I see a lot of liquidity. I see like a lot of people would have placed their stop loss right there if they chase that drop to the bottom, especially because the retail sentiment is so high. So there's a lot of stop losses that are going to be placed around that area for people who are in the short, who chase this move to the downside. And that's why we don't chase moves like that. We wait for the confirmation before we enter. So as you can see, price is now reaching the area that we marked up right here. We'll see what happens when price breaks above it. So if price breaks above it, then I'm anticipating a big spike to the upside. Not really a big spike, but a liquidity push to the upside. Specifically because whoever chased the drop right here. And that's obviously why we didn't chase the drop, because I did anticipate something like this to happen, or it's going to push to the upside. So let me see what stocks are like really red right now. I think it's the same thing. It's just IBM. IBM is the only one that's really heavy. It's down 9 points. Visa's down 4 points. Caterpillar's down 3 points. Johnson & Johnson's down 1 point. Looking at the green stocks here, we have Goldman Sachs at 4 points. Everything's kind of just small. So it's trying to make its way to the upside, but it's not there yet. And this market today kind of sucks. I mean, it's kind of making up for yesterday's super high volatility where we locked in a lot of profit, but I mean, it's all good. So looking at this right here, I mean, if you did take that 10-minute right there, Maddie, looks like you're almost at full TP. So I'll just follow for you, but obviously I'm not in position. It's not one that I would necessarily take because it's just too risky. Looking at the 10-minute, nothing here. Looking at the 3-minute. So there's no entry here off the 3-minute daily yet. If we get that buy there, then it would be an entry. Also, it would double up as a pivot scalp entry as well. So as you can see right here, price just dumped all the way back down. And that would have been a nice scalp using the variation that we were using yesterday. But I'm not going to take that risk. I'm looking for buys here. Like I personally want to take buys because obviously I don't like trading the direction of retail traders, but this number here just isn't shifting fast enough. Once it makes its way into the green, then I'm probably going to start taking some buys. I'm not going to wait for it to get to 100 points. I'll probably just hop right back into it. CERN just messaged me. So let's see. CERN said that natural gas storage is restricted for FTMO. All right, let me check the natural gas over here. Refresh that. Yeah, so I'm not going to trade around the news anyways. So we do have news coming up at 7 o'clock. So I'll be waiting until this passes. I mean, I don't think it's going to affect the market that much, but I'm not going to take any trades around that time. I'm going to wait for the news to pass so that we don't get caught in any price spikes after the news release is released, even though I don't think it's necessarily going to do that, but I'm going to be cautious and I'm going to wait. So news is coming up in 5 minutes, guys, and then we have another news event coming up at 7:30. Thanks, Saren, for letting me know. So a couple people did take some trades already today. So let's see. Charlie's currently up 707. He's been trading pre-market, took a couple of trades right before market open, and he said he's probably going to stop for the day. So yeah, probably should, Charlie, if you're good with your profits. Angela said US 30 acting up today, but GJ was super good to me. So Angela over here is trading GJ, locked in a nice 3,496. Nice work, Angela. And then her other account over here, she locked in a total of 1,808 off GJ. So two different accounts right here, two different profits, both good. Maddie over here. Yeah, I know, Maddie. I was looking at that same one. Now you just missed it. So Maddie over here has been applying the new strategy too. This is Maddie from last night. And there you go. He took that trade. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else here. Eunice made some profit during London session, 819. Great work, Eunice. Anything else here? I think that's it for right now. And then CERN for the day, he's currently up 722 euros. So a lot of people here trade during London session and they trade pre-market. So that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I haven't taken any trades myself. I'm just waiting for, some sort of entry to come up. So as you can see, price is still ranging around the same area. It's still going between the old range was like up here, and it just got a little tighter, but not really very much. It's starting to tighten a little bit, but it's still not very much. But as you can see, price is starting to make its way up. So if price pushes up from here and it breaks above here, then I think we're going to be clear for some buys. However, I mean, it hasn't happened yet, so we'll see. We're just being patient. We're just waiting for what the market gives us. Right now, the market isn't really giving us much. It's kind of just going back and forth. Once we have that confirmation of the direction of price, then we'll start trading that direction. But right now, currently, there just isn't anything for us to take. Same with this 3-minute here. I wouldn't have taken it because the fundamentals are still red. I'm literally waiting for this to turn green. Once this turns green, then I'll probably start looking for some buys. But right now, it's still at 65 points in the red. So the bias is still a sell, but it's not a very strong bias because it's not below 100 points. I'm just being patient here. Also, news is coming up in 2 minutes, so I'm just going to be waiting for that. And then also some retail traders hopped on the short side. So it's 72% short now. Prior it was 71, now it's 72. So a lot of people are trying to catch that drop. I think a lot of people, well, it's like the same thing we identified yesterday, right? A lot of people think just because it's getting close to the all-time high that it's going to have to drop, but that's not necessarily always the case. Like yesterday, I mentioned that the fundamentals were bullish and the retail sentiment was bearish. It was like, I think 73% short. And what happened after, it broke the high and just kept going up higher and higher. So I wouldn't necessarily base anything off these technicals here. These technicals are usually the last thing I look at. I look at fundamentals first and I look at retail sentiment to make sure that I'm trading in the proper direction. So that you can see the number here, it's just sitting around 61. It hasn't really moved very much. It's bouncing between like 50, 60, going back to like 70, and then it just comes right back up to 50. So obviously there's no clear direction that's been set. You can see here on the 1 minute, there's not much going on either. It's just going sideways. So let me check the chat to see if there's anything else here that I missed. Here, let's see. So let me just scroll up. Let's see. Sam said, Drew said I got a buy signal as well. Yeah, no, I got a buy signal on mine too, guys, on the 3 minute right here. But I wasn't going to take it because the fundamentals are still red. If the fundamentals start to turn green, even by like a few points, then I would start looking for some buys because that's just indicating that price is shifting the other way, which is where we want to trade anyways. But currently right now it's still red, so I wouldn't have taken it. But yeah, there is a buy signal here on my 3 minute. I just wouldn't have taken it because it doesn't fit the requirements that I'm looking for with regard to my confluences. So, just another reminder, guys, my confluences go in this order. It's usually fundamentals first, retail sentiment, then technical analysis. Technicals are always going to be my last confirmation. Because first I want to confirm the direction. Then lastly, I want to confirm the entry point. So I don't necessarily trade like straight off the chart. I look at the fundamentals first and then I trade off that. So I'm scrolling down. Thanks, Patrick. Yeah, so a lot of people are just confirming that there's restricted news coming up. Let me just check FTMO real quick to see. Because if it's restricted news, even not for US 30, I'm still not going to trade it because I don't want to get caught in in the whipsaw over here, or any whipsaw that might happen, which is likely to happen. Yeah, so we have a restricted event right here. We have natural gas storage coming up at 7:30 my time, about 30 minutes. It's only restricted to natural gas, but I'm still not going to trade on it, even if, that becomes the case. Let's see. A lot of people say that their sessions high-low is screwed up. So guys, have you guys used the new settings? The new settings are here for the session high-low. We tried to post it the other, I keep posting on the group. I'm not sure if you guys are noticing it. I don't even know where I put it at. But anyways, I'll look for it and I'll send it to you guys here if I can find it. But here we go. All right, so I just posted that sessions high-low picture right there, guys. So if you guys are having issues with your sessions high-low, you just have to make the small adjustment. It's going to be base default off Eastern time, because that's just what TradingView updated to. But it's not necessarily going to be in line with your time zone, because everyone's here on a different time zone. So like, for example, here, this is what it's set for mine, because I'm Pacific time. It's 3 hours ahead, so I got to put it 3 hours ahead. But if you're located somewhere else, you just have to line it up with your time zone. I'm still trying to find a workaround to that. Jeff just sent his profits. Jeff took a sell right here, locking a total of 540. Nice work, Jeff. Total of 1,377 for the day. All right. All right, so going back to the charts over here, let me see if there's a direction. I don't think it's even changed very much. Refreshing this right here. Sales of existing homes rose in September, likely due to a brief decline in mortgage rates. Yeah, I agree with that. Let me refresh this right here. It's currently down 78 points right now, so there still isn't any direction, guys. As you can see at US, it's basically just going back and forth still. So I'm still not, but it's getting tighter. So bad news, price is still ranging back and forth. Good news is it's getting tighter. So it's starting to squeeze. It starts to get tighter and tighter. It's just charging up for a breakout. So it's probably going to break out one direction or the other once it gets tight enough. Because you can see the range was up here, then it was down here, then it was up here, then it was down here, and now it's getting tighter as it moves along. So we'll see what happens in the next few minutes. Hopefully we have some sort of direction that establishes within the next 30 minutes or so. Or if not, today just might be a toss-up with regard to the trading days. You're never going to have perfect trading days every single day, right? And like I mentioned, you guys don't have to trade every single day. You guys want to trade when the market's giving you what you're looking for. Currently, right now, I'm looking for a buy. However, the market's not giving me a buy. And the main reason I'm looking for a buy is because of the retail sentiment right here. Obviously, I don't want to trade when there's 70% of people short. I want to buy. But if the fundamentals aren't giving me buys, then obviously there's nothing for me to take here. And another reminder, guys, that's why we have such a high win rate here, because we look for the absolutely, certain trades. I'm not taking trades where I'm like, oh, this is a risky trade. This might hit, but I'm going to take it anyways, right? I never really do that. I only take a trade if I'm like, oh, this is 100% sure it's going to hit. And we're not always going to have days like that, like it was yesterday. So we're just going to be patient, keep waiting for these trades here. Obviously, if there's something that comes up, we'll take it. But if it doesn't, then we're just going to keep waiting. But the good news is that it's getting tighter. So that's the main thing right here. Price is getting tighter as it's getting closer and closer. It's charging up for that squeeze to break out. And then I'm hoping it breaks out to the upside. And then by that point, I'm hoping that the fundamentals have changed in that direction as well. So as you guys can see, like I mentioned before, it's just bouncing between 50 points and 70 points. So it's going back and forth. It's probably going to, if price swings up over here, then it's probably going to shoot back up to like 50 points. But we want that to turn green. Once we get that, then it'll be a better bias for us to be focused on. All right, let me see if there's anything else here. Yeah, no problem, Clyde. Glad I could help you guys with that. I'm gonna scroll up and see if there's any questions that I missed. Nice. Abraham caught the 1 minute buy. That's good. Roger's asking if that was a valid snipe from 630 to 640. Yeah, it's a little difficult. You know, it's not necessarily. So that was the same one that we looked at earlier. I wouldn't necessarily say it was like a clean entry, but I mean, technically, I guess you could call it if you wanted to, because it's so close, depending on, you know, what type of risk you're looking to take. I mean, otherwise, there's other entries that are getting established here. There's like an entry there, entry right here for this red candle as well. But we'll keep watching it. And I'll just give you, I'll put an alert here so that I can remind you guys, or whoever, you know, decided to take it, but I didn't take it myself. So it's not going to count as like a trade for the week. It's just going to be something that we followed on here during the live. So if it does hit, I'll give you guys the update so that you guys can be aware that it's hit. But, you know, like I mentioned, the only trades that get called on the listing is like when we actually take them and then we make profit. Well, I make profit off it. I only count the ones that I personally take and make profit off it during the live sessions. Yeah, no problem, Roger. All right, so I think that's it for the questions right now. If that, you know, obviously we're still waiting for some sort of direction to be set here. It's just still nothing here. We're just waiting. 7:07. So nothing really happened after the news. Let's see, the news happened at 7 o'clock right here. Looks like we had like a small spike to the downside and then just swung back up. And this is somewhat normal, guys. So if you guys are wondering like why the market's moving like this, it's because we had such a volatile day yesterday. Basically, if there's a super volatile day and it's really smooth, like you can see the market from yesterday, right? Just looking at this here. This is our morning session from yesterday. We made so much profit here because we just caught it as it kept going up and up and up, right? So right here, price just continues to go up. A smooth move to the upside. This is normally how price should be moving. Looking at current price right now, there isn't really a smooth move here. It's just going back and forth. It's whipsawing back and forth, no real direction set. But what I'm looking for is for it to break above here. So I want it to break above here, and then I want to catch it as it moves smoothly back up, even higher. But it might not happen, right? Especially because the all-time high was broken yesterday. I think a lot of people are kind of just playing around in the market. It's not necessarily moving smoothly at all. It's kind of just people speculating, which makes sense, right? When something like that happens, people just speculate. There are some people are anticipating price to drop back down to where it was prior to reaching the high. Some people are expecting it to shoot up and beat and break the high again. But we'll see. And this is so boring. I'm like trying to control my FOMO. Well, not really FOMO because nobody's taking trades, but I'm trying to control my need to want to enter a trade here. So we had another sell signal right here. Obviously, I wouldn't have taken that one because the bias wasn't very strong. And good thing I did it because this would have swung right back up this way. All right, let's see. Live Disruptor 50 Summit with Tech Checks. Julie Burstin. So I guess there's some news, or I guess this is, if it's tech stuff, it's usually going to affect the NASDAQ. Yeah. So I don't think this is really all that important. They're just talking about tech stuff. All right, so there's that going on. There's I mean, nothing else really. You can see the fundamentals here is just bouncing around 70 points. So I'm hoping that we get a direction set soon, but if not, I mean, it's okay. We're just going to keep waiting for it. If we don't get anything around like 7:30, then I'm probably not going to trade very much today because I'm happy with my products from yesterday. I'm happy with my products for the entire week, actually. This whole week's been a great week so far. So I'm not trying to risk it and then throw away profits by taking risky trades here. But hopefully we get something. So I want to take at least one with you guys here. But if not, you know, we're going to be safe. And we're not going to just jump into trades just because we want to be in a trade. So there's another buy right there. And obviously that would have, looks like it's about to hit TP2. But I wouldn't take the trade. I wouldn't take it because there's still no fundamentals that confirm it. Looking over here at the fundamentals, it's still 71 points, or now it's 67 points in the red. It's not in the green side yet. Once it moves to the green, then I'll start taking buys. But right now, we'll just keep marking stuff up as they come up. But I'm not in any of these trades. So like, I'm trying to make it as clear as possible to you guys. You know, I'm not in these trades, so I don't want you guys to enter trades and then get mad at me if it doesn't hit because you entered after I told you I'm not in the trade. So that's like one thing I wanted to cover too, guys. Like a lot of people are confused, like when to enter a trade. It's really up to you. There's a reason why I teach you guys the analysis. I teach you guys how to look at the charts. If you feel comfortable taking the trade, then take the trade. If I'm telling you that I'm not taking the trade, then it's probably a risky trade. And if I tell you it's a risky trade, then obviously it's a risky trade. So, you guys got to use that information to your own use. Like I'm not here to take the trades for you. I'm not here to tell you exactly what to do because that's not what I do. I give you guys my advice, not really my advice, but I give you my perspective and my opinion on a trade. And whether you guys want to take it or not, you guys can take it. Obviously, I wouldn't have taken it because the fundamentals here are not green. I want to trade in the direction of the fundamentals, but I also want to trade opposite of retail sentiment. Right now, currently, the fundamentals are in the direction of retail sentiment. However, I don't think it's going to hold that way for the entire day. It might be there temporarily, but I don't think it's going to be there for the entire day. So yeah, just pretty much waiting still. Nothing really here to look at, nothing here to take. Price is kind of just going back and forth. But as you can see right here, just like I mentioned earlier, the range is getting tighter, which is a big positive because when that happens, it's just charging for a breakout, which I'm hoping it's a breakout to the upside right here. And then once it reaches it, then it will hit some liquidity and it'll just continue to push up higher and higher. So right here, price just established another low, well, a newer low, which is a little lower than where it currently was. And if that closes right there in the next 20 seconds, we'll just move this a little lower right here. I will just move it now, and then we'll see what happens. But you guys can see the gap is closing, right? So the gap from here was about 720 pips. When it got closer right here, the gap got tighter, about 500 pips, and then now the gap right here is even tighter. It's about less than 400 pips. So as this gets tighter and tighter, this is going to get better because this just gets closer and closer to each other, right? And when it gets really close, that's when the breakout will happen either way. And hopefully we can catch a move once it has that breakout so that we can start trading that direction. But currently right now, the range has gotten a lot tighter. Volatility's died down. Range is currently now only about 350 pips. So it's just all about patience, guys. Waiting for that move, waiting for that confirmation, waiting for that confluence to enter. But yeah, still no direction set right now. Let's see. Paul said took a small scalp on Nasdaq, only 500, but I'll take what he can get. Yeah, exactly. That's good, Paul. I mean, if that's all you can find for right now, that's perfectly fine, right? I prefer to get that than get nothing for today. So yeah, profit's profit. Yeah, Paul said if nothing shows up, I'll take the 500 Nasdaq and call it a day. That's a good idea. Roger's asking, will you wait to draw the next liquidity zone until the first zone is broken? I assume the first one is that prior swing high. I mean, technically, you can draw another liquidity zone around this area here. I would probably draw it like around this area. Yeah, this swing right here. So I'll just draw the liquidity zone as price continues to drop lower. Because I do think price is going to swing up eventually. Not right now, but I think like, the next couple hours, it's going to swing up. It's going to have to swing back up because I don't think it's going to keep dropping. The retail sentiment here, they're basically trying to add this up. Like I think there's not enough sellers right now in the market. So it's at 72%. I think once this drops more to like 75, 78%, like once, and in order to do that, they need to show on the chart that price is dropping, right? Like what would you do if you were a market maker and you want more retail traders to join the sell side? In order to do that, you need to spike price down so that people get excited and they think, oh, price is going to keep dropping. So what happens is they keep dropping it slightly so people enter these sells. As soon as this number here increases to like 75, 78%, that's where these liquidity zones are going to be perfect because you're going to catch the spike all the way back up, right? And I'll tell you what I mean by that from yesterday's market. So looking at yesterday's market, I'm going to turn all this stuff off right here. All right. So looking at yesterday's market, I'm just going to show you exactly what I mean by that. Because if you guys are new here, you guys are probably not familiar with it, but we've been trading like this for like years now, and it works like a charm almost every single time. So looking at this right here, this is basically the liquidity zones that we were just talking about, right? So like looking at this right here, let me look back at the chart, make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, yeah, so I'm not missing anything right now. I'll just show you what I mean by the liquidity zones. So retail sentiment was like super heavy short because people are trying to catch they were expecting price to drop after it reached the all-time high, right? So like price reached all-time high around that area. And then what happened was around 8 o'clock. So it establishes highs, right? So we have all these highs right here. So basically we draw liquidity zones around these areas right here, right? So that when price swings back up, we catch it as it swings up. So as you can see, price continues to drop lower, and you see how price hits the liquidity zone right there. So this is our first liquidity zone. When price hits the liquidity zone, what happens from that point? It reaches liquidity and it has a whole bunch of volatility that pushes price to the upside, right? And look at what happens next. Price continues to push up, hits liquidity again right there, right? What happens when it does right here? It's the same exact thing. Hits liquidity and it just keeps pushing up higher and higher. Right there, right? There you go. So that's basically it. And then it hits liquidity again right there. And then what happens when price hits liquidity? It pushes up even higher. So that's pretty much what we're looking for here. It's the same thing. That's why I drew these lines here, because I'm letting price drop. When it drops far enough and there's enough retail traders on the short side, then price is just going to spike up. That's just how it works. I mean, it's just using common logic. The market makers aren't going to keep pushing price down because that's not how they make money. They make money when they stop people out who are on the opposite side. So this number here is kind of small. Once it gets to like 70, 75, 78, maybe even 80%, that's when you can make a ton of profit off that. That's how I made a lot of profit yesterday, because I waited for this to happen, the liquidity zones, and that's how I made my profits yesterday, right? Because I took like 2 trades after I got off the live session. I was on the live session with you guys. I took like 2 trades here, and then I took another 2 trades later once I got off the live session, because I think I took like a couple here. Yeah, from 6. So I took this here with you guys, like this made 225, 1,635. And then I made these after I got off the live session because I was waiting for it to swing up like it did right here. But yeah, I mean, you can keep drawing your liquidity zones if you want, Roger. I mean, I'll probably draw it with you guys, but I just don't want a messy chart, right? So I don't really put it up there unless it's like absolutely necessary, which could be necessary right now because we're waiting for this to confirm. But I'm not looking for any sells. I definitely do not want to take any sells. I'm just waiting for the fundamentals here to. All right, we have live Attorney General Merrick Garland testifies before the House Judiciary Committee. So we do have some high impact stuff going on right here. I'm not sure what they're talking about, but it says House Judiciary Committee holds a hearing Thursday on oversight of the U.S. Department of Justice. Yeah, so we'll see I'm not really sure what they're going to be discussing here, but they're just starting. So this is going to be risky for the market because it's probably going to, I don't know what they're going to talk about, whether it be COVID, whether it be, I don't know, honestly, I have no idea. There's no insight as to like what they're talking about, but it's likely going to affect the market if it has to do with COVID or stuff like that. So looking over here at the futures data, guys, you guys can see that S&P is now in the green, right? So everything's starting to turn green. That's why I'm anticipating the Dow here to turn green as well, because if everything here is green, especially the S&P, the Dow is probably going to follow along with it. It's just having a later reaction, but it's probably going to swing up at some point. So, all right, that looks good right there. Yeah, it's just going to be us waiting at this point again still. So there's a lot of different factors that you guys want to be careful of. Also, we have news coming up at 7:30 right here, natural gas storage. That's probably going to affect the market. We have Attorney General Merrick speaking right now. This is probably going to affect the market as well. There's just, there's a lot of things that are pointing towards hinting you guys not to trade. Because I just don't want to get caught in any fake outs. That's the main thing. Main thing is not getting caught in any fake outs. and only taking quality trades. So let me see if there's anything else here. Here, let me scroll down and see. So Roger has another question here. Roger's asking, cool, thanks. And do you just draw zones on the 1 minute chart? I mean, you can draw zones on any chart you want, Roger. Liquidity zones work on any time frame. If you're on the 3 minute, works on the 3 minute. Look, like it's just a bigger liquidity zone on a bigger time frame. So I mean, there's no specific time frame where you should be drawing the liquidity zone. Some people like drawing it on the higher time frame. Some people like drawing it on the low time frame, right? Like if you're on the 1 hour here, it works the same way. It doesn't make any difference. So like, for example, here, if the sentiment's super low and you're on the 1 hour and you're drawing liquidity zones around this area, it just gives you a bigger zone to look at, right? Because the thing is, they're going to jumble up into like one zone anyways. If you're on the shorter time frame, it's just it gives you a bigger zone. So like, for example, here, price is below, and then when price reaches a point here, it's the same thing. It doesn't make a difference. Right here, price breaks the liquidity. It probably swings up from here. So I mean, it's really up to preference. I mean, there's no specific way to doing it. It's like with trading, there's no one way to trade. So right there, if you want to do on the 1 hour, it's the same thing, right? Price reaches here, hits liquidity again. It doesn't matter if it's on 1 minute, 10 minute, 1 hour, 2 hours. I mean, you can see it works the same way. This is the same way that the other strategy works that we apply on for Forex as well. It's pretty much the same thing. So looking at this right here, that's pretty much how you would do it. You can do it on any time frame. Yeah, I do it on the 1 minute because this is where I'm trading, obviously. But if you want to do it on the higher time frames, you can. Joe's asking what broker am I using? I'm using FTMO. Falcon's asking, Shawn, the post-market profits, looks like you're taking 3-6 profits. Is it due to the spread because you're spotting exhaustion? It's because of the spread, Falcon. I'm always using a fixed TP stop loss. Normally it's like 10 pips, but the spread after hours is like, you know, it's really high. It's like 6 pips. So 6 plus 3, that's 10 pips, or 6 plus 3 points, that's 10 points, right? Our TP is 10 points. So if you factor in the spread, you just subtract whatever the spread is from your TP. If I'm going for 10 points, I'm going to subtract 6 points because that's the spread. And that's why it's only about 3 to 6 points per profit. So that's exactly why. And I only know these sweet spots because I've back tested it. Like, you know, I identify to see how price moves during those times on after hours. And that's how I know how much price moves. Yeah, no problem, Falcon. I know it's a little confusing sometimes. A lot of people think I'm just micro scalping, but I'm really just factoring in the spread because that's how much price ranges during Asia session. It's usually about like 5 to 10 pips, and that's including spread. So you know, sometimes you'll go for 5 points, sometimes you'll go for 10. What I usually do is I'll let it move, and then when price pushes to whatever direction, I'll adjust my TP stop loss depending on like how wide the spread is. Because if the spread's too wide, you can't move your stop loss too close, and then I end up just going for a smaller target. Yeah, no problem, Falcon. Glad I could help you with that. I know it's going to help with a lot of people understanding, you know, why I take smaller trades during Asia session versus New York. So another question right here. Let me scroll up real quick. Ellis is asking, what is your slippage settings on your copier? I have it set to 5 million. I know it's like a big number, but I just do that so my trades always execute. I think it's default to like, but if you have it only at 5, you're probably going to run into some slippage and it's not going to execute your orders. Like for me, I have it set to 5 million. So if price is like super wide, it'll still execute my order as long as it does it on time. Let's see over here. Falcon said just to apply the template you have, just right click. I don't see it on here, Falcon. I'm trying to see. I mean, that would help because you're the one that showed me about the templates, but I don't see it here at all. Let's see. Oh, you're talking about this? Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing as clicking it though. So yeah, I have to click on the chart, but I would do the same thing. I would just click on here and then I would just click the template. So that's how I normally do it. Yeah. No, thanks for that tip, Falcon, because you're the one that showed me about the templates as well to begin with. All right, so you can see price is literally ranging. It's doing this exactly what we just identified earlier. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take off these liquidity zones, or I guess I could leave them on. It's not really a big deal. I just like a cleaner chart, but it's okay. If it's fine with you guys, it's fine with me. But yeah, price is literally just ranging right now. It's not really doing much, and the range is getting smaller and smaller. So right here, it's going around this point and going around this point. Let me answer your question since we're not really doing anything right now. Let me scroll up. Roger's asking, and then you enter on the candle that breaks above the zone regardless of any strategy. No, I don't, Roger. It's just a confluence. So I'm still following strategy. There's always going to be strategy. You always have to follow strategy. You're not just like entering a trade just because it reaches a liquidity zone. You're entering a trade because there is an entry that's going that direction. So like, for example, here, if you're trying to catch these liquidity moves right here, there's a buy signal right here, right? So like, say, for example, you have a liquidity zone right here, right? You have a liquidity zone somewhere around this area, but then you get a buy signal right here that breaks above it. If price breaks liquidity and you get a buy signal right there, that's when I'm going to enter the trade. I'm not just going to enter it because it touches it. Because if you entered it when it touched it right here, or if it crossed it, you would have just gotten constant drawdown. So guys, I mean, don't get this, like, I give you guys like all these extra confluences. These confluences are additional to the strategy. These aren't specific strategies on their own. So you guys got to remember that, right? Because the last thing I want you guys to do is to just enter trades randomly because you think price hits the liquidity zone that you think price is going to go up, and then it doesn't go up. I'm entering this here because there's an actual entry that's available there. So you guys got to make sure that you're using these as extra confluences. These are additions to what you're already applying. So you want to find out if there's an entry first, and then that's why we use the fundamentals, and we use retail sentiment, and we use futures data, and we use news, and we use liquidity to identify if this is a good trade or not, right? Everything is based off strategy, guys. Never take a trade just off the fly. Take a trade only if you understand if there's an entry at that point. So just don't get that mixed up, because I already know some people are already getting ideas to just take trades and price reaches liquidity zones, but that's not necessarily how you guys are supposed to do it. So let me scroll down a little bit right here and see. David said, you recommend trading view that shows 10. I don't trade on the 1 second chart, Dave. That's crazy. So I never do the 1 second chart, or I don't know, is that your question? Because your question here says you recommend trading view that shows 1, 5, 15, 30 seconds. Thanks. I don't do anything less than the 1 minute. One minute is like far enough for me. I don't do anything below that. So price is starting to shift up right now. Let's go over here real quick and see what's going on. I know there's natural gas storage coming out right now at 7:30. So it hasn't come out yet. Let me go to the fundamentals over here. Fundamentals are 63 points in the red. Trump's SPAC shares. All right, so the stock price of SPAC, but this isn't in S&P, or it's not in a US 30. So I wouldn't necessarily say that it's going to push it up, but looking at the fundamentals over here, these are starting to shift. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of different factors that are pushing the market right now. We have the Attorney General Merrick speaking right now. This is one thing. Another thing is that we have, I guess, Trump's new app. I don't know if that's necessarily affecting the market directly, but going with this over here, the fundamentals are currently starting to lessen. So let's see what happens here next with this. I mean, price, it broke past this liquidity zone. There's another one right here. So as you guys can see, if I just zoom over here real quick, you guys can, the chart's super messy. Let me see if I close this. So we drew these liquidity zones. When price shot up above it right there, it just shot to the upside, right? And then it just continues pushing around. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm just going to take off these liquidity zones because they're just in the way. They're not really necessary because we're not basing anything off it as like completely. We're pretty much just trying to catch these as they break across. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This wouldn't have been an entry for the high low because it's only 4 candles past it. So we just have to go and establish this as a new high. Yeah, man, this market sucks. It is Thursday though, so I'm kind of not surprised, especially after a big move yesterday. Market usually just gets stale. So yeah, nothing right there. And guys, this buy right here, I wouldn't have taken it for the same exact reason I haven't taken any other buys this entire morning. Reason for that's because the fundamentals are still red. They're not green yet. I'm looking for this to push to the green side before I take, any buys. But I'm personally looking for, I want to take some buys. It's probably not going to happen anytime soon, but maybe I'll just sit on the market a little later to confirm that. But yeah, I wouldn't have taken that buy right there if you guys are wondering. Let me scroll down real quick. All right, so I think that's it for those questions right there. Paul said I'm done for the day. I'll take my 500 and go. Yeah, exactly, Roger. Yeah, so Roger said, understood. It just increases your confidence in the trade. 100%, Roger. Yeah, and yeah, no, you're fine. There's no problem. So you're asking valid questions, Roger. I'm sure a lot of other people here have the same questions, but they're just scared to ask. So, Roger's asking me the hard questions a lot of people don't want to ask, which is okay because it helps out everyone here. It just helps with everyone's understanding so that everyone's on the same page. So, thanks for asking that question, Roger. I don't think you're really confusing anybody. It's just us clearing it up because I'm sure there's other people that were confused as well. Isai said so much volatility since yesterday. No, I agree. A lot of the volatility came yesterday because we got close to the all-time high. However, right now, price isn't really, and we have volatility, but it's just ranging. So if you guys look over here, let me just zoom out real quick. I'll just close all of the indicators here to show you guys how this market is so screwed right now. So looking at current price right now, you can see how there's no direction, right? Price goes up, price comes down, price goes up, price goes down, price goes up. It's literally just ranging. It's literally just going sideways, right? So this right here is where you don't want to trade. You do not want to trade when price is not, when it doesn't have a direction. If it's just going sideways like this, you definitely don't want to trade right here, right? So like looking at this, it's just going sideways. Looking at yesterday, this is where we traded a lot because this is where we want to trade, right? So like looking at yesterday, so like 6:30 was right here. Because we're on this live session from like 6:30 to 8. So like 6:30 to 8, right? This is what we want. We want price to actually move directional, right? Because that's what we're looking for. Looking at current price right here, this is not directional. And this is why we're being very careful about the trades that we take. So, if you guys don't understand like why we're not taking trades, main reason is because price doesn't have a direction. You don't want to trade blindly and just hop into a trade because you want to be in a trade. You want to hop into a trade and be confident about it. So like looking at this right here, there's real no direction, right? I just zoomed out from here. Price is literally just going sideways. It's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down, it's going up. Yesterday, price went straight up. And that's why we made so much profit right there, just taking buys because we had a bias. The fundamentals were bullish. The retail sentiment was bearish. It was like, it was a win-win. Today, not so much. It's just going back and forth. So yeah, other than that. Falcon said, I'm making a, sorry, Falcon, I just saw you delete your message. I think you said you were making a fundamental indicator or something like that. But you said you're just having trouble with stocks. Aside said, well, volatility in Bitcoin, because yeah, US 30 has been ranging weird for me. Yeah, no, US 30 is still volatile. It's not that it's not volatile. It's been pretty volatile for the past couple of days because it reached all-time high. But currently today, it's just not really doing much. It's kind of like that meme, that meme where it's like this kid, he's like poking something with a stick and he's like, do something. Because it's literally not doing anything right now. It's kind of just going sideways. The news just happened right now for natural gas storage. I'll refresh that real quick. Let's see, so natural gas storage was released. It was negative. And I think that's about it for the news today. So if you guys have questions, drop your questions in the chat. If I don't see anything come up soon, then I'm probably not going to have much to look at today. What I might do is I might just take a break for a bit and I might just come back later. I gotta go get my car detailed right now, 8 o'clock. So I'll be on this live session for a bit. If you guys have questions, drop your questions in the chat. Otherwise, there just isn't much in the market for today, guys. Days like this happen where there just isn't anything here. And when days like this happen, it's better to just sit out the market. There's no reason for you to force anything. What I do recommend is maybe come back like in an hour and then see if price has finally set its direction. Because once it breaks out of this range over here, like once it breaks above and then just pushes, or if it breaks below and just pushes, then you can start taking trades around that point. However, there just isn't anything here for us. Obviously, price is literally just going sideways for the most part. Let me see another question here. So yeah, if you guys have questions, drop all your questions in the chat right now, and then I'll answer them all before I log off. It's 6:36 right now, so I'm still on here for a bit. So let's see. B's asking, when trading Asia session, what fundamentals should we be looking at since New York is over? The futures data is 24 hours, B. So if you open this here, it's still up. The futures data runs 24 hours, and this is actual Dow 30 future data, which is what we're trading because we trade 24 hours. So like, yeah, this right here would be the futures data that we get. If you want to pull that up, just go to CNBC, go to, usually it's under pre-market. So when the market's open right now, so it's under US, but once the market closes, you click pre-market and it's going to open the Dow future right there. That's the future data that you'll be looking at. So that's pretty much what I look at. I look at this during Asia session just to confirm the direction of price. And yeah, I think that's it. The Attorney General is still speaking right now, so that's probably affecting the market. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff going on here. So let me see this real quick. Yeah, market's not doing anything. It's now stuck in, I mean, it's still stuck in the range. It's not now stuck in the range. It's been in this range for a while now, but it's looking like it's starting to, I mean, it's getting tighter. You can see, obviously, if you look at the price right here, price literally is getting tighter. It's going down here. It's going right here. So as it gets tighter and tighter, it's going to squeeze. And then it's either going to break out to the upside or it's going to break out to the downside. So that's why I'm saying to come back like in an hour or so, if you want to trade this morning, because an hour from now, price is probably going to squeeze tight enough where it's going to break out. Let's see if there's anything else here. Hey, Duggan. Duggan says 10:37 p.m. here. I'm out. Thanks, K2. Yeah, Duggan, we'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, super late over there in Australia. Let's see. iPhone said, if I traded S&P NASDAQ on 50K, can I still use it 2.5? I'm not sure, iPhone. I don't trade those other indices, so I'm not sure what it's worth. You should go and message FTMO directly because they're pretty quick. Just ask them like, what's the worth of per pip, and then you can figure it out. Just ask me on a 1.00 lot size, how much is a pip worth or a point worth, and then once you have that, you can do the basic calculation to figure out, you know, how many lot size you should be using with regard to your TP stop loss. B's asking, when looking at futures data, what range do you look at? I don't really change that. It's just default. So I just have it set to 1 year. It doesn't really change anything. This is just a chart down here, but this number here doesn't change because this gives you the real-time data of like where the future is moving. You're not using these charts here, so you don't need to change this at all. You just leave it as is. All right, let me see if there's anything else here real quick. Rav said I might take the 10-minute daily. So looking at the 10-minute daily over here. For a sell, I don't know if I would take that sell, Rav. I mean, if you want to take it, you can, but I don't know if I would personally take it because the retail sentiment is so short. So I don't really like trading with them. But you know, looking at the daily from yesterday, I think the daily from yesterday is finally, it hit already. Let's see, from the 20th, 6:30. Yeah, so looking at the daily entry from yesterday right here, it actually hit TP, or no, it didn't hit TP, but it's currently pushing down right now. So this is a daily entry from yesterday, if anyone took it. I know it was after 9 o'clock, so like I wouldn't have taken it, but some people like still trading it after hours. So if you were to take the trade here, I mean, it would continue to push on. And this is a new requirement. This cutoff wasn't here before. I just put this because a lot of people will get caught in entering the trade too late, like super late, like into the next session. So that's why I put that requirement there. But some people don't follow it because if you've been following K2 from the beginning, this requirement was never here. The only reason I put this was because people are entering trades like super late into the market where you definitely should not be entering, like right before market close or something like that. So, I mean, if you want to take the trade rev, I mean, you can, but I think it would be risky because retail sentiment is so short right now. So I don't know if I necessarily would want to take a trade like that. But if you do, you can take it with a smaller lot size. But this is a trade from yesterday. It's still running. And then if we get another sell signal here, then it's going to line up with it, right? Rabbit's just going to be pushing down even further. So maybe it'll work out in your favor. But I personally, I just wouldn't take it myself. There's just no point. But if you want to, Rav, good luck and let me know how it goes. Or I'll mark it up for you and I'll follow it as well if it does close. Anyways, back to the 1 minute. Literally nothing. It's kind of just still doing this. But you guys can see it's starting to get tighter, right? So as it gets tighter, get ready for that breakout. That's about to happen at some point. So we'll see what happens. But let me answer the rest of the questions here. Next question is from CJ. CJ is asking, in your order of fundamentals charts, CJ, I think you might have it wrong. Fundamentals aren't charts. Fundamentals are the data. So I see right here, you put fundamentals charts, technicals data. Those should be opposite because technicals are the charts. The fundamentals are the data and then retail sentiment. So my order is fundamentals, retail sentiment, then technicals. Technicals are always last for me because technicals just tells me what direction to be. So the fundamentals and retail sentiment will tell me which direction to trade. The technicals are going to tell me where to enter. So obviously you want to know the bigger picture first where price is going, and then use the technicals at the end to determine where to make your entry point. So yeah, your order is just a little messed up and it's just a little off, but it's fundamentals, retail sentiment, then technical analysis. That'd be it. Let's see. Donnie said, even though the Dow is in a range, the pivots as well as the 200 EMA is still bullish. So are we just waiting for resistance to be broken? Not necessarily. So Donnie, the reason I'm looking for a buy here is because retail sentiment is short. So I'm not looking at any of that stuff. Like everything that you're mentioning right now is all technicals, right? That's the last step in my analysis. I don't look at that stuff until I have a confirmation with everything else. So the reason why I'm looking for a buy here is because I'm looking at retail sentiment. I'm seeing where all the retail traders are trading. And then I'm looking at fundamentals here. If the fundamentals switch to the buy side, then I'm gonna start looking for some buys. I think that's like a big reason why a lot of people aren't so good at trading because they focus so much on technicals. There's no problem with that, but there's other confluences that are leading, right? Technicals are laggy. When you see something happen on the chart, the moves already pretty much happened already, or it's you're midway through the move. That's why I look at the fundamentals here. If everything's pointing towards a buy, and then I see a buy here on my chart, then I'm going to take the buy. But I think you got to get out of that way of thinking, Donnie. I mean, if you like thinking that way, if it's made you a successful trader, then by all means continue to do it. But if it hasn't, you got to change the way you think, because if you haven't been doing good trading and you've been looking just at technicals, there's obviously something that needs to be changed, right? And that's what I started to notice too, because I used to be just like everyone else. I used to look just at the charts. I never looked at fundamentals. But once I started looking at fundamentals and retail sentiment, this this pretty much made like all the difference for me. Like when I started doing this, then I started winning every single trade. So it's something that maybe you want to take into consideration as well, because the EMAs or whatever, guys, like EMAs are lagging. Like all the moving averages and all that stuff, everything's lagging on the chart because everything pretty much happens already before you see it. Like for example, here, if you see prices above here, it's kind of hard for you to tell it's going to go up without having all these other things, right? So like say for example here, you're just using moving averages. This is why I have so many different things on the chart, because I tie everything together, right? So if you just have moving averages right here and price is just going sideways, there's no way that you would have known that price was going to go up, right? But you add on my other tools, you add on the trend meter, you're like, okay, I'm looking at the trend now. Price is likely to go up at this point. You add on the momentum indicator, right? Price is currently down. Right here, price swings up. We got a buy signal. We have a trend meter. Everything comes full circle. So the thing is, this right here, I would have known this was going to push up because it was bullish on the fundamentals and it was also bullish on it was bearish on the retail sentiment. And then we had all these technicals at the end to, clean up your analysis. So with that said, if I knew that, I'm like, all right, price is probably going to go up. And that's exactly what happened there. But you really don't know that price is going to be this high until it happens, right? Because the thing is, you would have never known it was going to be going up like that prior to it even going up, because you probably would have thought it was going to go up from over here. But once you have everything all lined up, that's where everything just comes full circle. So just something to keep in mind, guys. If it works for you, if it's worked for you in the past, or it continues to work for you guys, continue to use what works for you, right? There's no one way to trade. There's millions of ways to trade. I just trade this way and this works for me. That's why I continue to do it every single day. But if you find something that works for you, then, obviously stick to it. But yeah, Donnie, quick answer to your question is no, that's not what I'm looking for specifically. But it does line up with your analysis as well. We're both looking for buys here, but my reason is because of the retail sentiment. So let me scroll down a little bit. I don't think there was a daily entry, guys. There is nothing here on my end. Yeah, so there's no signal there for the daily that's closed yet. And this snipe over here is still running. This snipe has been running all morning. It's still currently running right now, and it's in profit. Let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. All right, let me see this right here. All right, let me keep looking at the questions real quick as I continue on. So let's see. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no problem, CJ. So that helps with your question there. If it closed below the pivots. Yeah, no, exactly. Same here. So Kip said if it closed below the pivots with a valid sell, I'll trade some sells with the daily, but I'm untrusting if it's a sell. If a sell, yeah, no, exactly. I'm with you on that one too. This was technically an entry using the high-low strategy. Sorry, guys, I just missed it. I was looking at the questions here in the chat, but technically this would have been a high-low entry right here, and it looks like it already would have hit TP. Yeah, because right here you can see price broke this high right here. We went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles to the right. It didn't cross above it or touch it, and then right here this candle broke past it. So this would be an entry using this high-low strategy right here, because we want to confirm the previous swing high, which would be right here. We confirm price break and close past the previous swing. So right here, this candle right here broke past it. Third, confirm the direction that you're trading in the direction of momentum. Right here, we have a buy signal, so we're looking for a buy. Fourth, you want to make sure that price isn't ranging. Price was currently moving bullish right here. It broke out of the range. And then lastly, you want to confirm that price hasn't touched the previous swing. So right here, price didn't touch it and it broke above it. So you would enter right there. I didn't take the trade. It's okay. But I'm just showing you guys because a lot of people are asking if this was a high-low entry. It was, but I didn't take it myself. This market's trash today. It's trash. I mean, if it was moving a lot more like this throughout the session, I would have been more inclined to take a trade. But currently right now, it just, it just doesn't really look that good. Isai said, I actually started doing this thing where I enter a micro lot, kind of use that as an extra indication as to when I might be able to enter the bigger move. Yeah, I used to do that too before Isai. I would just follow it. There goes a full TP off the snipe. So, I mean, whoever caught the trade, you had like a lot of opportunity to take that trade because it kept bouncing back and forth right here. So I'm not sure if you got into that, Maddie, because I know you're the one that asked about that. Also, I think a couple other people, I think Roger asked about that too. So I'm not sure if you guys caught the trade. If you guys did, you guys can push your profits. That's great. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, there just isn't anything else here that's available. Let me see if there's anything else that I looked at. So Chris over here is still trading. So he traded all throughout the session as well. There's actually a lot of people here. So let me just scroll over here real quick and I'll show what everyone else did. So Lisa here locked in a total of 830 today. Great work, Lisa. Angela over here locked in a total of 5,470. Great work, Angela. Narith over here locked in a total of like 8,000, 9,000, like well over 10,000 right here. So Narith is in profit right here. He bought some stocks right there, Baba and Tesla, Amazon. Chris over here locked in a total of 1,180. Great work. Chris said done for the day. Market was raging pretty nice, busy for the rest of the day, so I'm out. Yeah, definitely. And Narith over here again, another couple thousand. Great work, Narith. That's a lot actually, bro. He's up like almost like 20K off this account. Just taking those big stock moves. Other than that, CSoup locked in a total of 2,365. Nice work, CSoup. All right, so let me just look at the rest of the questions here. Or let's see, there's other profits here too. Miriam here as well. Nice work, Miriam. So Miriam locked in nearly 1,000 here. She took some buys here off US 30. I'm not sure what strategy she was applying, but she might have been taking some scalps and also maybe basing it off the liquidity zones as well. Lisa is now currently at 1,504. Great work, Lisa. Romano here up 1,118. Great work, Romano. Miriam again right there, about 1,000. And I think that's it for now. But Daddy over here as well, locked in a total of 145. He had a couple losses pre-market, and then he came back right here when he got on the live session, right back up, made some profit off that 145. Great work, bro. Nice, nice. Yeah, so I think that's it for right now, for the most part. Vincent here as well. Vincent said that he took, what did he take? Yeah, Vincent took a buy signal here. Yeah, Vince, you gotta be a little careful, bro. I think that was the same buy that I was telling everybody. The reason why we wouldn't have taken the buy right there was because the fundamentals have been red this whole time. So we've been waiting this whole time for this to swing to the upside, but there hasn't been, it's still been red this entire morning. So you guys got to be really, really careful when taking trades against the fundamentals. I never trade against fundamentals. Fundamentals are always number one. If it's red, then I'm not going to take any buys. If it's green, I'm not going to take any sells. So you guys got to be very careful and be very, very patient, with regard to understanding, when to make these entries. Albert here as well, locked in a total of 3,187. All wins, no losses. Great work, Albert. So great work amongst everyone here. I didn't take any trades myself, so I don't have any profit to share either. But it's good to see a lot of you guys here still profiting on your own, applying these strategies from like what you've learned during these live sessions, and also from the different K2 strategies that have been available to you guys. So other than that, let me answer the rest of the questions and I'm going to call it a day. It's about to be 8. I got to go drop off my car for my detail right now. So let me just answer what else we got here. Let's see. B said, would you take a buy even if the charts look overall bearish? I wouldn't, because you have to line everything up. So if the fundamentals are bearish, then I wouldn't take the buy even if it showed up on the chart, because fundamentals are first. If the fundamentals aren't pointing that direction, I'm not going to trade in that direction. So the fundamentals, guys, you guys got to keep in mind, fundamentals always come first, right? Don't get that confused. Whatever the chart shows me, I don't care what the chart shows me. As long as the fundamentals are in that direction too, then I'll take the trade. Or if the retail sentiment is not in that direction, I'll take the trade. But these are always going to come first. Fundamentals and retail sentiment is always going to come first. These charts never come first. So that's something that you guys need to be aware of whenever you guys are looking at trades. And this is specifically for trading specific strategies. Obviously, if you're doing reversal strategies, you can do that. Like, you can mix them up. But all the strategies that I teach you guys are all in the direction of the trend. So we always want to trade in the direction of bias. All right. Other than that, let's see. CJ said, if you traded gold, would you look at the IG retail sentiment and look for the opposite as well? I don't trade gold, CJ, so I can't really give you an opinion on that, but you can use it. I've seen other people use retail sentiment for that as well, and you can use that. It does work. However, I don't trade gold, so I can't really tell you exactly what I would do, since it's not something that I necessarily trade. Yeah, Justin said it was breaking out of the squeeze. It finally did, right? It was squeezing down here, it broke above, and it did exactly what we anticipated. So if you guys remember earlier, this right here was squeezing, right? I mentioned price was squeezing, and then it was going to have to break out of the squeeze, and it finally did right here. So a lot of people use that knowledge to their advantage when determining when to take trades. And there's definitely some great work right there for whoever caught the buy. I unfortunately didn't, but glad to see that a lot of you guys hit right there. Yeah, Maddie took it as well too. Lisa said she took the trade. Oh yeah, I know, right, Lisa? If you took a bigger lot, it would have been a lot better. Lamar said, caught 2 snipes, just waited out patiently, waited all 6 snipes, but I couldn't handle the margin. Nice work, Lamar. So a lot of you guys actually caught a lot of those trades that we were looking at, even though I didn't take it myself. Let's see, Kip said there are 5 more snipes in the last hour. Yeah, they're all running right now, I think, currently. Okay, so B just cleared it up. So B said, I meant if the fundamentals and retail sentiment are pointing towards a buy, but charts are bearish, would you still go for the buy? Or do you need all 3 to match? You basically need all 3 to match for the most part. Because I mean, you probably wouldn't get an entry for that, right, B? Because if you're trading, like say, for example, all of the strategies are based off the trend. So in order for you to take a buy, price would need to be above the pivots, right? So that'd be a bullish trend. So this would have to be bullish. It'd be impossible for you to take a trade if it's opposite, because it doesn't fit the requirements here. You need to trade in the direction of the trend. So they all have to match. they're never not going to match. Like for example, if it's all bullish on fundamentals, technical or fundamentals and retail sentiment, but you don't have a buy here, because the thing is, you're not going to get a buy if the buy is below the lines here. It's not going to be bullish. It's going to be bearish. So it's kind of impossible for you to get a trade like that. So I don't think you know if you notice that or if you realize that, but all these trades are in the direction of the trend. So technically, they're all going to be bullish. If they're all bullish, then they're going to be bullish together. If they're all bearish, they're going to be bearish together, because you're not going to get any entries that are opposite of the trend. Yeah. So I don't know if that's like something that you didn't notice, but that's like one of the requirements. Like for example, if you want to take buys, price has to be above the pivots, which means it's in an uptrend. If you're looking for a sell, it has to be below the pivots, which pushes it in a downtrend. Yeah, no problem. You're good, B. All right, guys. So I think that's it for the questions. So if you guys do have more questions, feel free to reach out through Telegram or email me. I'm gonna have to get offline for a bit. We're gonna wrap up the session tomorrow, and I'm gonna be setting up a mentoring session soon, because I do plan on releasing the strategy to you guys very soon. So I'm going to get everything all wrapped up, get everything all published on TradingView so that you guys have access to the high-low indicator and all that stuff. And then we'll have a mentoring session hopefully within the next, I don't know, week or so, where I can explain to you in detail exactly how to apply everything so that you guys can do it on your own. So a lot of you guys are already doing it on your own, but this indicator is going to help you guys a lot. So other than that, I'll catch you guys tomorrow, and I'll see you guys on the last live session of this trading week. So have a great morning. And if you guys don't have to trade, today I'm probably gonna call it a day. So if you guys don't have to trade, just chill out.